How's everyone doing? It's always wonderful. I actually feel like I'm a bit higher than when I was at the Foundry. But it's great to be with you all today. Appreciate you taking time out of your busy lives to help celebrate the work that we do, but also the historians in our community. I'd like to begin by taking a few moments to recognize our local officials. With members of City Council, we have Lynn Fugate and Seema Singh. Thank you for being with us. And staying on City Council, former City Council members, we have Dwayne Grieve and Finbar Saunders, and also Ed Schaus. And all three serve on the KHP board. Thank you. Of course, Ed Schaus also served on County Commission and former county trustee. From Knox County Commission, we have Courtney Durrett. And we have several members of the Tennessee General Assembly as well. We have Representative Charlie Baum, Representative Elaine Davis, Representative Jeremy Faison, Representative Justin Lafferty, and former Representative Martin Daniel. Thanks for being here with us today. So yeah, this is the 9th annual Luncheon. It's hard to believe that the first one was in 2017. It seems absolutely ages ago. And as Aaron said, a major part of it is, as we come to know, is to recognize the special historians in our community who have used their knowledge, experience, and special talents in the field of history to help us better understand the history and culture of this city. And at KHP, we honestly frequently rely on the work that they've done, the collective work of all our honorees. I just want to highlight and recognize our past honorees from the last several years. If you haven't already heard, though, we are sorry to regret to share the news that Sandy McNabb, our 2024 honoree, passed away a few months ago. But we look forward to actually, Terry Faulkner, is Terry here? Terry Faulkner's here, our past honoree, and also Steve Cotton. We're glad that you both can be with us today. And I also want to thank everyone in the room who also contributes to the field of local and regional history, including our friends and colleagues at the East Tennessee Historical Society, the McClung Historical Collection, and all the historic house museums. We truly enjoy working with you all and appreciate all the good work that you do. I'd also like to thank our sponsors, our generous sponsors, for helping underwrite the cost of this event today, including the cost of the short film that we will be showing on Tennessee Marble in a few minutes, that's produced by Linda Billman and Doug Mills. Our National Register Golden sponsors, thank you so very much. All the names are in the program. And also our silver level, Keyhole silver level sponsors. Let's give them all a round of applause, please. Also want to thank our table hosts, you hardworking table hosts that help fill this room, and it looks fantastic from this stage. Thank you for taking the time to invite your friends and colleagues to join us today to make this event not only a success, but also make the day memorable for everybody and our honoree. So let's give everyone a round of thanks for coming today. You truly are friends of the Knoxville History Project. Also want to take a moment to recognize the Knoxville History Project Board of Directors. If you are on the board, please stand, wave, and be recognized. We appreciate your wise governance and inspiring leadership. It's a pleasure working with you all. Thank you. Also want to say thank you to our talented admin and event coordinator, Nicole Stoll in the back. Thank you, Nicole, for all your efforts. And also for our volunteers that have helped today, including our friends across the street that help with parking. Also, again, thanks to Linda Billman and Doug Mills for producing the film, and also to Pete Cardy for doing sound. Also want to say hello to a board member that's not present with us today, but Mark Hines, who's helped us put on this event today, and also to the staff at the Mill and Mine, particularly Emily, Margaret, and Andrew. Thank you so much for putting on a great day for us today. just like to take a few moments to share a few examples of KHP's current programmatic priorities. Our mission, as you can see, is to preserve and promote the history and culture of Knoxville. We do this through accurate research and engaging programs. We tell the city's true stories, focusing on those that haven't been previously told, and sharing them with local residents, visitors, and people all over the world online. This spring, we published our first music guide, a walking guide to the history of music in Knoxville, and you have a copy with you on every place today. And it's a companion to our literary walking guide that we produced a couple of years ago. Inside, you'll find an introductory essay by Jack Neely on the history of our city that takes us all the way back to the 1790s when violins were sold here, when sheet music was printed here in the 1830s, when Gustav Knabe from Leipzig came here just after the Civil War and founded the Knoxville Philharmonic Orchestra, and onwards into the 20th century, like the jazz era of the 1920s, and where we highlight the birth of radio and the emergence of country music here with future stars like Roy Acuff and Chet Atkins. As well as the important recording sessions at the St. James Hotel, featuring the likes of Howard Armstrong and the Tennessee Chocolate Drops, Leola Manning and the Tennessee Ramblers. Plus key events of the 1950s when two teenagers, Don and Phil Everly, who had just moved here to Knoxville with their parents, and they discovered Bo Diddley and rock and roll in a record shop on Cumberland Avenue before they went on to find fame and fortune in Nashville, and would prove to be a pivotal influence on fantastic bands like the Beatles. And how about that 1957 legendary 1957 show where Louis Armstrong and his biracial band played at Chilhowie Park during the Clinton high school crisis. And then just a year after that, when a young Dolly Parton sang for the very first time on Knoxville radio, just one block here on North Gay. In this guide, we highlight 56 key figures in Knoxville music history and describe 39 buildings and sites downtown where you can physically connect to those stories, like where the street musicians performed for nickels and dimes at the Southern Railway Station just across the street, where singers and players gathered at the Street Musicians Corner by the Custom House and downtown Post Office today, right where the kiosk is next to the History Center, as well as that spot on Market Square where record shop owners, whose daughter Linda Schwartzbach is here today, her parents ran Bell Sales Company and sold boxes and boxes of singles by a then unknown Elvis Presley in 1954. And their act selling those records on Market Square played a pivotal role in Elvis's transition from Sun Records in Memphis onto the big time at RCA in New York. And what is, he sold more records than anybody ever? And maybe we had a role in that right here. But of course, we highlight the stories of also our two amazing historic theaters, the Bijou Theater and the Tennessee. We really hope that you enjoy the guide and it enhances your understanding about Knoxville history. I want to thank our sponsors and funders to be able to share this booklet for free for several years to come, both in print and online. You might say that through all our programs that we do at the History Project, all our tours and podcasts and books, what we specialize in is telling Knoxville's true stories. Stories and accounts that are thoroughly researched and fact-checked and shared in various formats. Through Visit Knoxville, through West Knoxville Lifestyle magazine, and our own Scruffy Citizen column, we share at least 4 brand new stories a month, as well as help the city of Knoxville with timely historical narratives and talking points for the mayor and city officials. As you can see on the screen, earlier this year I began a new monthly column for InsideOfKnoxville.com that was started by Alan Sims and now owned by Leslie Bateman, and Leslie's here today too. My new column is called Ghost Walking the Streets of Knoxville, and it's my way of looking into bygone days to catch glimpses and tell the stories of Knoxvillians who came before us, and how through the city's streets and how the city's streets and landscapes have shifted and changed over the years. That is not always obvious in ways that we see today. And you can sign up for these stories and others at InsideOfKnoxville.com. We also help other cultural organizations and the city research and share their own true stories through historical narratives and books. This spring, for the city of Knoxville, we completed a new publication on the history of North Knoxville's Oak Hill and St. Mary's Hospital site that has recently been transformed by the new city public safety complex. It's a story that incorporates the old Victorian Scott mansion on Oak Hill, a generous Irish saloon keeper named Dan DeWine, and the forward-thinking nuns with the Sisters of Mercy, who together built a new and progressive hospital that served Knoxville for decades. We're also about to complete design on a brand new book with our partners and friends over at the Bijou Theatre, telling the story of the theatre's second balcony and the African-American experience there over the years, starting in the century before the theatre opened in 1909, when it was the Lamar House, the street-facing part of the theatre, which remains one of the city's oldest and most precious historical buildings. We dig into the stories of some of the black employees who built it, the many performers who brought the theatre to life and enchanted audiences through the decades, and as also the patrons who attended concerts, plays, and films throughout the decades. And we're also nearing completion on a far different book. It's a 60-year history of Knoxville and Knox County's Community Action Committee, which is CAC for short. It's a complex story that began in the mid-1960s, following the War on Poverty. And CAC, as you may or may not know, is a very multifaceted institution that has faced enormous challenges over the years, but through the tenacity and dedication of its leaders. And by the way, Barbara Kelly, the executive director, is maybe retiring this year, has been there since the 60s. It's just incredible to think about how many programs they've run and how many thousands of people they've served here locally. Just want to end by highlighting things that are on the horizon for us. We're excited to be a part of an experience of the Eugenia Williams House on Lions View when it opens next spring. We thought it was going to open later this fall, but we just met with the Aslan Foundation. They need to do a few more things before it opens, but it's definitely going to be well worth the wait. I mean, how many of us have craned our necks to catch a glimpse of the house through the gap in the wall while driving by on Lions View Pike? Or wonder what exactly is the story of the supposedly reclusive lady who lived practically all alone in that large house down at the foot of the lawn by the river? Well, we're very fortunate at the History Project because we've been invited as part of a select group of other nonprofits, provided the opportunity by the Aslan Foundation to deliver programs and experiences at the house when it opens. So we're going to be launching next spring a lunchtime brown bag series at noon on the first Wednesday of the month, free for KHP supporters, charge for others. And we'll begin to tell, Jack Nealer will begin the series with the story of Eugenia Williams and the house, and then we'll branch out with histories of Bearden and Lions View. You know, it's endless of the stories that we can tell. So we look forward to that, and we look forward to seeing you there. Something that's taken a little longer than we anticipated, for two reasons. Our historic Knoxville book, it's a big space, right, across the river. It goes all the way from the river here on Sevier Avenue, all the way to Blount County, and all the way basically from the river next to Alcoa Highway, all the way over to Sevier County. So we're plugging away diligently the best we can on a historic Knoxville book. It's going to be out next year. This is a photograph that was taken in 1898. It's a bird's eye view. We're looking across a brand new Gay Street Bridge, right on the top of Gobbler's Knob. There was one name for it, right up near where Fort Stanley was. And so we're still telling, identifying previously untold stories of South Knoxville, discovering new photographs and illustrations to convey the history of really what is the city's largest sector, but also maybe one of the most least understood places in Knoxville. So we're looking forward to releasing this book next spring. I hope these types of projects and programs illustrate the breadth of programming that we do at KHP. And please know that we are truly grateful to every one of you to help us continue the work that this community deserves. Thanks for being here today and for your generous support and words of encouragement.